What's up, guys? My name is Pete, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Phipps Tips. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the overall market. We'll check out its top performers. We'll have a look at the day's biggest winners and the biggest losers. News article today, guys. Tron Independence Day is upon us. We'll see what that has to say. And then we're going to check out what Bitcoin's doing with a little bit of technical analysis. All that and more coming up, guys. Don't move a muscle. We are on CoinMarketCap.com. The market cap coming in at $257 billion with a 24-hour trading volume of $17 billion and Bitcoin dominance steadily rising at 41.8%. Of our top five today, guys, we have Bitcoin up 1.5%, Ethereum up 1.5%, Ripple up 0.38%, Bitcoin Cash up 0.5%, and EOS up 3.6% on the day, guys. Our movers and shakers versus the king. Our number one of the day is Cortex up against Bitcoin, 34.34% on the day. Theta token up 10.5% against Bitcoin. Populous up 9.64%. Kin up 8.19%. And Eternity up 8% against Bitcoin today, guys. Our gainers and losers on the day. Our biggest gainer on the day, guys, Abgecoin Commerce, up 1,124.75%. That is insanity. I mean, that is absolute insanity, guys. With $148,000 in trade volume, it has spiked price upwards of 1,000%. Over 1,000%. That's psychotic. Crazy numbers right there. Our second biggest gainer of the day isn't even close to that. Up in its Ucash, up 94.8%. And I know 94%, people are like, ooh, wow, 94% when you're looking at like the coin above it who is up over 1,000%. Still, guys, 94% on Ucash with a $1.6 million trading volume. That's some serious moving. eJoy is our number three crypto on the day, up 63.69%. Dignity up 50% on the day, and Electra up 38.06% on the day. Our biggest losers, SR Coin down 40%, Traxia down 25.64%, Unibright down 20.5%, AlphaCat down 19.38%, and Big Bomb down 16.79% on the day, guys. If you are in any of those coins, you're having a rough day. We're going to move on into this Tron Independence Day celebration. We'll see what that's all about, guys. Stay tuned. Tron Independence Day explained. What's at stake for a $3 billion blockchain? 1 year and nearly $3 billion later, the Tron blockchain is set to finally put its much-debated tech to the test. At least, that's what should happen Monday, that is today, when Tron completes the token swap it began last week, migrating the last of its users' funds from Ethereum to a new proprietary blockchain. For investors, the moment marks a historic Independence Day of sorts, but it could more broadly become a make-or-break moment for the project, which, though controversial, already finds itself among the top cryptocurrencies globally. Founded last July, Tron is set out to decentralize the internet. However, the project has yet to rigorously define what that means in practice. And while Tron's rhetoric may seemingly resemble that of many cryptocurrencies that emerged from 2017's token boom, the project is distinguished by the size of its funding and the outspokenness of its founder. Former Ripple representative Justin Sun, who last week caused a stir in the tech world by purchasing the company behind file-sharing service BitTorrent. Some onlookers speculate that Sun made the acquisition to lend legitimacy to his project, something it has been accused of lacking on more than one occasion. More specifically, while Tron has positioned itself as a competitor to Ethereum and decided to launch its own protocol to address Ethereum's inefficiencies, the project was rebuked earlier this year for using code from the protocol without providing an attribution. These allegations were closely followed by claims that the project leaders had plagiarized Tron's white paper. Despite the gravity of these claims, Tron has done little to dispel the concerns. On the contrary, the significant alteration of its roadmap, specifically its decision to abandon its original plan to develop on Ethereum in favor of creating its own mainnet, and its decision to use a delegated proof-of-stake system, further exacerbate them. For his part, however, Sun remains confident that the past allegations are of little concern. He told CoinDesk in an interview that these decisions were necessary to achieve his vision of leading the blockchain industry away from its emphasis on R&D and toward a new focus on user experience and consumer-facing products. Sun is quoted as saying, "Ethereum is like IBM back in the day, making those big supercomputers. And I'm not saying that Ethereum does not have robust technology, but I'm saying that Ethereum is just like IBM. They only focus on the tech. They don't focus on user experience." Sun, on the other hand, is attempting to position his project as the Microsoft of the blockchain, which he says succeeded by they were able to take the computer and make it into a PC, making it into a consumer good. Despite the appeal of this vision, Tron has a complex launch ahead, and concerns are unlikely to be abated quickly. As with the recent EOS blockchain launch, which saw the $4 billion blockchain go live in an elaborate global process that dragged on for days, Tron will need to navigate similar complexities ahead. On Tuesday, Tron is expected to follow its token swamp with a super representative election, in which token holders will select the block producer delegates that will approve transactions, after which the technology will finally be live. The Frankenstein of cryptos is what it's been labeled, but launching may be the only part of the battle ahead, or may only be a part of the battle ahead for Tron. For one, there remain unanswered questions about the strength of its technology. According to Lucas Nuzzi, Director of Research of Digital Assets Research, which recently analyzed Tron's code, the project may inherit issues from the code bases that its developers have sought to copy. He told CoinDesk that Ethereum J suffers from issues like memory leakage, a problem related to buffering of incoming blocks. Further, he explained that he believes that these issues could be exacerbated in Tron's protocol because it combines Ethereum J with other relatively new techs, like the Delegated Proof-of-Stake Consensus Mechanism, or DPoS, in which various entities compete to act as transaction validators. Because of this melange of technologies in Tron protocol, Nuzzi has dubbed the project the Frankenstein of crypto. The project has history of repurposing technologies and gluing them together and calling it unique. When you put all of these things together, it's very unlikely that you're going to encounter severe failures. Or it's very unlikely that you're not going to encounter severe failures. Sun dismissed the allegations of code plagiarism and said that Tron team takes security issues very seriously, citing as proof of millions of dollars it offers for bug bounties. He's quoted as saying, "Yes, one of our programmers did forget a very small thing that he didn't put on. However, it was so long ago and it was a very minor issue at the time. It's kind of like saying I'm 27 now and when you were 4 you messed up with one of this big goal kick. It doesn't really make sense because it's very insignificant in the bigger picture." But in interviews, Sun couldn't seem to attest to the extent of Tron's use of Ethereum J previously or currently. He initially indicated that Tron previously used a small portion of Ethereum J and said, but it was also 6 months ago. When asked if Tron was no longer using Ethereum J, Sun wavered and eventually said he was unsure and referred CoinDesk to the Tron development team. The team also failed to provide clarity in an email to CoinDesk. They were quoted as saying, "We referenced Ethereum's code in our peer-to-peer network while keeping all licenses. We have made many changes, optimizing functions like node discovery and node blocking. We've also made some improvements that are more suitable to the Tron DPoS use case, adding functions like high availability on the peer-to-peer network, excuse me guys, to prevent unexpected super-representative disconnections, adding trusted nodes and active nodes. According to Newsy, these changes are very small, some being the bare minimum changes to support a DPoS system. Likewise, a search in Tron's code repository for the terms Ethereum and Ethereum J yields 76 and 73 references, respectively. One practical implication of these technical concerns is that the software is unpredictable. Newsy explained, however, those seeking to leverage the tech appear to be prepared for a bumpy launch. Dean Zaremba, whose IT networking company FreeSpace is a Tron super representative candidate, echoed Newsy's contention, though for different reasons. Super representatives run nodes in the protocol in a bid to earn its rewards. It's a new software being released to the wild. You can only test so much in a testing environment until the public gets their hands on it and, tries to crack it in different ways. You just never know. Meanwhile, cybersecurity company and super representative candidate Infinity Stone expressed confidence in Tron's project and the amount of testing it has conducted thus far. They are quoted as saying, "We are optimistic about Tron. People always keep improving their code bases, and in terms of Tron, the good thing is they started their testnet last month, so some bugs should have been caught already. And they have a dress rehearsal for all these super representative candidates," the company told CoinDesk. For his part, Sun dismissed those who have expressed concerns about the protocol security as random people who don't really know what they're talking about. Likewise, he sought to emphasize the project has carried out 2 rounds of successful rehearsals for the official launch. But if Tron blockchain is merely the first step in Sun's vision of a decentralized internet, he seemed to hint at what that could mean, describing a strategy in which Tron's tech is even ported to other blockchains and beyond. If we are able to successfully launch a voting system and have it really robust, I really think that Bitcoin and Ethereum should add voting mechanisms into their governance. Because for me personally, he added, I'm not just the founder of Tron. I have a lot of Ethereum and a lot of Bitcoin, and I really want to vote. For now, though, it remains to be seen if Sun's project will work, much less spread, or merely cause fireworks. He is quoted as saying, in conclusion, "This is just the beginning of the decentralized internet. It's not the end. For right now, we don't have a full picture." And some of his statements were communicated via translator. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think Tron is all hype? Justin Sun, the guy does a fantastic job in cheerleading for his project. Without a doubt, guys, he's probably one of the most outspoken people in crypto when it comes to, his project and the blockchain. He's constantly, making partnerships. He's constantly talking about it to anybody who will listen. Having interviews, this, that, and the other. But I'm interested to see what will happen once, the protocol goes live. I'm interested. I want to check it out, to be honest. I want to see what this new decentralized internet is all about. Could it be something that, takes hold and becomes the future? Quite possibly, guys. It is part of crypto, and crypto is going to be the future. Whether or not people are willing to accept it is one thing, but it's definitely going to be the way of the future, guys, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So it's just something to keep your eyes on. I know there are a lot of people. I was even invested into Tron there for a while when I first got into cryptocurrency. But as I learn more and more and more about the space, I just felt like Tron was not where I wanted to be with a tech. I mean, you know, the new decentralized internet's cool and all, but it's a big step, guys. It's a big step. And you know, I'm on the wait and see approach when it comes to this crypto. There are other projects that I find that I like better. You know, I'm not saying that this is a bad project at all. In fact, I think it's a great project, and if we can decentralize the internet and keep the feds out of it, that would be fantastic. You know, this whole, what is the guy's name now who runs, he's the head of the Internet Social Securities, Ajit something or other. You know, he's trying to put this whole ban on the internet. God, I can't think of his name. But yeah, he is the bad guy. Ajit something or other, that our fearless leader Donald Trump appointed. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Do you think that Tron is going to be everything that Justin Sun hopes it's going to be, at least in the future or in the near future? I don't know. I'm interested to see, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. So drop me a few comments down in the comment section, guys. Let me know if you think it's the Frankenstein of crypto, or if it's actually going to, you know, have legs and take off. Love to hear what you guys have to say. And here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin versus US dollar 4-hour scale using the Bitfinex exchange information. And I still have all of our indicators and drawing tools up from Friday's video. We saw the dump that happened on Friday. You know, and I tried to explain to everybody exactly what I thought was going to happen. And while, you know, that didn't quite happen, we did see a dump over the weekend. Like, we dropped down pretty low, guys, like 5,900, 5,700, somewhere around there. So I called that, but then we had a huge spike, and you know, we've been running upwards ever since. Our 50-hour exponential moving average, however, is blocking our way. It is acting as a bit of resistance for Bitcoin. In fact, this whole area right through here, I'll grab our box and I will highlight that for you so you know what I'm speaking about. This whole area right through here, guys, resistance. Actually, what we could consider all of this as resistance. This whole section. All of this will be resistance. If we can manage to close this candle above the 50-hour, we'll be in good shape. But if we don't, guys, this could just be a brief reprieve before, you know, we head back down. Our RSI is in the middle of, you know, just normal trades. So we're at like a 50 range around there, a little bit higher, but it's on the come down. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, guys, like, for let's grab a different indicator. Let's see what our volume is doing. Let's see here. As we had a nice green spike around noon today, but then, you know, we've went right back into the red. And with about 40 minutes left before this candle closes, it's not looking good. We could potentially, within the next 40 minutes, guys, we could see a bit of a bull run. You know, we've had 3 straight green candles so far today. If we could turn this one into a green candle and get above the 50-hour, just so we can use that as support instead of resistance, that would be a good sign of, you know, things are trying to reverse. But if we don't, guys, this rally could be very, very, very brief. I'm seeing a lot of bearish sentiment in Twitter. And believe me, guys, when Twitter gets bearish, Twitter gets hostile. And when Twitter gets hostile, the market is generally, is doing poorly. And it is doing poorly. I mean, that big green candle brought us from $5,800, $5,700, over $6,000, roughly. But since then has, we've just been trailing sideways a little bit, not making too much headway. What we would like to see is like some more buying volume, some more big green candles, increasing our volume. But what we can see, though, guys, here in the RSI is that we are getting a bit of bullish divergence. Although we're not seeing the price increase too much, we are seeing the strength index creating higher lows. Meaning that, I'll show you right here. Let me grab our trend line. Kind of like this. You can see that, we're on an upward trajectory when it comes to our lows, which is a good sign. We like seeing that. For those of us who want to see Bitcoin do well, that's a good sign. Also, zooming in on our volume indicator, we can see that we're starting to get a bit of a bullish run here as well. You can see our orange line is starting to increase as we can see, volume increase in buying power, I should say, or in buying volume. We can see, it's starting to increase a little bit. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there, guys. What we definitely want to see, though, as I've stated before, we want to see this candle close above the 50-hour. But like I said before, guys, this whole area is an area of resistance. We're going to have a hard time fighting through that. And once we do, if we do, then we'll have the 200-hour above us that we're going to have to make a breakthrough and hopefully, turn that into a support zone as well. Because once we're through here, guys, this area, this little bit here, will be punched through. I mean, there's really nothing there to stop us. But it's once we get up into this area where there's all this price action through here, I'll draw another rectangle just to show you what I'm talking about. This area through here, this area will also act as a line of resistance for Bitcoin to punch through. The good news about that, though, guys, is once we do make it through this area will no longer be resistance. It will again become support, as it was previously. And then once we've sat on this for a while, we're going to try, we will try, I'm sure, to push back up through again and make a run for that 10K range. Now, a lot of people are saying July is going to be the bull month, but we heard that last month that June was going to be the bull month after the bearish May that we had. And also we heard that May was supposed to be the bull month after the bearish April that we had. So, guys, I don't think that we are done retracing at all. I think that Bitcoin's probably not going to see a 10K this summer. I feel it in my bones, guys, that the manipulation of this currency is just, it's too powerful. There are too many people who do not want Bitcoin to get above $10,000. And, I honestly don't see it happening. What I can show us is that we are still in the midst of this triangle. We can draw it out like so. And you can see we are still in it. And it's still a very ugly, ugly, ugly triangle. In fact, we've even broken below it. We could even drag the bottom down. And yeah, we might be back above like the trend line now and just resting on it. And if we zoom in, we can have a look. Yeah, we could even make a case for it to, you know, that we have it set so that way, you know, it looks like this is actually the trend. Like this is the support line that we're looking to have Bitcoin just run along. Now, as I said, guys, we're still in this triangle, this descending triangle. What we want to see is, like I said, guys, we want to see Bitcoin punch through this bit of resistance here. And if it can, you can see the 200-hour is just running right along this downward channel, this downward trajectory here on the 4-hour. Now, if we zoom out and get like the bigger picture, let's see what we got here. It's essentially the same. The 50-hour is instead running along this downward trend here instead of the 200-hour. Or this is the day, I'm sorry, this is the 50-day moving average. And the 200-day moving average is still way above our heads. While the 50-day average is still way above our heads, but we have lines that we have to punch through. So all in all, guys, things are still looking shaky for Bitcoin. We have, you know, found a bit of support on this bottom support line of this descending triangle, but we don't know how long that's going to last. We could maybe see this happen for a few more days, but by July, guys, we'll know one way or the other what's happening with Bitcoin. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, we will see what's happening. So, guys, that's going to do it for the video today. If you're still with me after all this time, hit that subscribe button, as I try to post a video every single day, Monday through Friday. And if you learned anything new, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Your friends want to know about Bitcoin. You should share this information with them. And I want to take this time, guys, to let you all know that none of this should be taken as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. So please don't use any of this as trade advice because, indeed, it is not. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And with that being said, guys, I would like to thank you very much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.